very good morning to Kenyan citizens. Karibu sana. This is the current affairs segment. It is your trusted source for the latest news, insightful discussions, and impactful stories shaping our nation and beyond. I'm Angela Kabete, and together with Kimotho, we'll dive into the latest headlines and uncover the truth behind the news. This is make sure that you stay updated of what is happening, that is in our country and beyond. So make sure that you stay tuned as we break it down right here, right now. But Kimotho, a very good morning to you.
Good morning too.
How are you doing?
Kwa salama kabisa.
You're blessed?
Kabisa.
Salimia watazamaji.
Nataka kuwasalimia na kuwashukuru kwa vile wamekuwa pamoja na sisi na tukijumuika pamoja. Yes.
Yeah, and you know, before anything else, lazima tuwapatie that is the verse of the day, as always. Let's head over to the verse of the day, and it comes from that is 1 Peter 5:8, and this is what it says. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. That is what the verse says.
Yeah.
So unaona imeanza kwa kusema be alert and of sober mind.
Yeah.
So you part here being spiritually, it means that you need to be spiritually alert. That is what Christians are being urged to. Be watchful, be vigilant, you know, in their faith each and every day. In your journey with Christ, you're supposed to be spiritually alert. Alafu inaendelea inasema Mr. Kimotho, inaendelea inasema and of sober mind. It means that you need to be sober minded. You need to be clear headed as a Christian, as a believer. You need to have self-control. You need to be focused. You know, why should we be focused? That's why, probably that's what you're asking yourself. To avoid distractions, temptations, vitu zenye zitakutoa kwa wokovu, things that will distract you from your walk with Christ. Alafu inaendelea inasema your enemy, the devil, prowls. It means that Satan is not passive. You know, he's constantly seeking for ways to harm you and deceive you as a Christian. So if you're not spiritually alert, utapata shetani akikuja, waves zikikuja, unasonga nazo. But if you're spiritually alert, you be careful and be firm in your faith as a Christian. Alafu namalizia inaendelea inasema you know, the devil prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. You know, wakitumia lion, it means that it shows the aggression. The devil is very aggressive, you know, that his intention is to destroy you. And that's why you as a believer, you as a Christian, you're supposed to be spiritually alert each and every day. Alafu namalizia sema looking for someone to devour. If the devil is looking for someone, the target, it means that that person is not spiritually alert, that person is weak, that person is isolated, you do not pray, and that's why you need to stay connected with God for protection, because that's where it comes from. Mr. Kimotho, what's your take on this verse?
Unajua imetupea hint. Yeah, imetupea hint ya kwamba that is the devil is always around. So and imetupatia solution to it. We should always be alert and sober mind. And the only thing to do is just you know, to be in the side of God. That's why now you're going you know, it is the only way ambayo itakusaidia, because it's only through prayers and through, you know, reading the word of God and so many other activities. And then at the same time you have now to remember that vile tu kama lion huwa inafanya, ikitarget prey yake lazima you make sure that is you know, imefikia, unajua the target to the end is just to kill. So we just need now to be in the side of God, so that now we will not be found on the other side. Yes.
Wow, that is a good verse. I believe that it's going to motivate you to pray each and every day and staying connected to Christ. And now let's head over to what has been happening. I have the Daily Nation in me.
I have the Standard newspaper.
And on the Daily Nation, these are some of the highlights of what you'll be checking out today. We'll be checking the health sector, then we'll be checking that is legal and crime, and then we'll be checking a little bit of politics and matters to do with the economy and the budget. What about you?
Today naona Standard ina vitu zile ambayo imekuwa nazo. Naona iko na the issue now to do with the education, the issue to do with also the media, and also another issue to do with building and construction, and also I can see also another issue of the Auditor General is being highlighted somewhere here in these pages.
Okay, yeah. Let's start with your Standard.
On standard kuna hapa naona wameandika ticking time bomb, and the picture ambayo iko hapa is the picture of Wilson Airport. There are fears that the upcoming buildings ambazo zinajengwa pale, and these buildings that zita affect the activities of the airport. Wilson Airport in jeopardy as a high-rise flats ground flights the pads. The Kenya Airport stroke airstrip, unaona sana hii ilianzishwa kitambo sana, and there are other buildings ambazo zinaonekana zinajengwa pale. And Wilson Airport pia ndio ni kama academy ya aviation pale, so unakuta kuna wale wanafunzi ambao wanafanywa training ili wakuwe pilots wanaenda pale, na kuna other activities ambazo zinaendelea pale. So kuna hii safety concern ambayo imekuweko pale, na kuna buildings ambazo zinajengwa pale, and some of these buildings zimepita mipaka ile ambayo inafaa. So it is raising a lot of questions as to who and why that one is been happening, kwa sababu unajua kuna wale the county that is engineers ambao wanafaa that is waweze kupeana huu mwelekeo, because at the end of the day we still need that the airstrip inafaa iwe pale, and wakati nao higher buildings ambayo yanaendelea kujengwa inakuwa that is itakuwa ni disaster, because unajua sasa that is kulingana na ile training path ambayo inakuwa pale inakuwa ni an issue, and also wale ambao wanaishi pale pia watakuwa pia ni threat, kwa sababu in case of any accident of this aircraft inamaanisha ita cause damage, na something needs to be done. Then at the same time unajua now the same airstrip iko na a history on itself, kwa sababu the word Wilson Airport ilitokana wapi. So before Wilson Airport, so on standard page 5 naona hapo wameweza kuelezea a bit of history of how the Wilson Airport came to be. So before Wilson Airport became a hub for tourism and emergency response, it was a widow's rebel against a grief. So kuna hawa ambao walikuwa wametembea hapa na ni kitambo sana, that is in 1928. So that is kuna Florence Wilson ambayo na alikuwa na her husband ambaye anaitwa Major William Hubbard. So Hubbard died in 1928. So the couple had moved to Kenya after the World War I, settling into the colonial life ambayo walikuja kuishi hapa. So the husband died. So wakati the husband alikufa, now she turned her mourning into a transport solution, looking for the skies. So you can imagine now aliweza now kuangalia now for other solution. So a year later Wilson invested her own money and and fortune ambayo alikuwa ameachiwa, and anaikaleta msukumo sana, because she was unajua hiyo wakati hakukuwa na kitu kama hii imeonekana, especially now the movement coming now from a lady. So she purchased a plane and also now pia the land, na sasa ndikaitwa Wilson Airways. So you can imagine now she was so determined. So sasa yeye aliamua to look now for other solution and other ways. Now that time that is ilikuwa inaitwa Dagoretti Corner, ambayo ilikuwa pale Nairobi. So yeye aliangalia business wise, na akaangalia hii kitu kwa sababu ya yale maneno ambayo yako, wacha niangalie. So in that time then she was given that year Wilson was awarded the Order of a British Empire. So haya yote yanafanyika kitambo sana, that is in 1938. So akaweza kupatiwa pale. So in World War II sasa hii ndio ilikuwa inatumika sana kama air base, kama air force, kama na yale mambo mengine ambayo yalikuwa pale. So ukiangalia hii Wilson Airport iko na historia ambayo imekuwa nayo pale, and it has been serving kama subsequent of now the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. So that is a bit of the history ya mahali that is a Wilson Airport iliweza kutokana na nani ambaye aliweza kupata that idea. So you can imagine now somebody ambaye alikuwa na this idea ikaweza kusaidia. Ukiangalia hiyo wakati hata buildings zilikuwa restricted ambavyo zinafaa kujengwa na the limit ambayo inafaa kuwa pale, but nowadays sasa tunaona kulingana na yale mtazamo yako pale, the high buildings ambazo zinajengwa pale, and it can cause a lot of harm even now to the surrounding of the people ambao wako pale, and also pia it have the training the training ambazo zimekuwa zikiendelea pale. So it has raised concern, especially now from the Kenya Aviation. And so nafikiria hiyo ndio kitu ambao wanaangalia, na naona imeangaziwa sana hapa na gazeti la Standard, that is from page 4 and page 5. And kuna hiyo concern ambayo ambayo iko pale.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story. Hapo wataangalia maneno.
Yeah.
And on other stories, that is in page 1 of the Daily Nation, they're saying lions share rich population are the primary reason they benefited most. So what they're trying to say is allocated is a budget but is that supposed to be a determiner? Because they're saying 6 counties get bulk of 3.7 trillion devolution cash. They're saying inequality remittances to the 6 devolved units accounts for more than a quarter of the total exchequer allocations, grants and own source of revenues between 2013 and when devolution started and 2024, reflecting the continued high concentration of resources in a small section of the country. That story is in page 4 and 5, and they have highlighted the beneficiaries of this allocation. And number 1 in Nairobi, they've been getting that 85.7 billion. We have Kiambu, they've been getting 155.4 billion. We have Nakuru County, they've been getting that is 141.1 billion. We have Turkana, they've been getting 127.6 billion. Kakamega, they've been getting 126.4 billion. And lastly, that is Mombasa, they've been getting 173.3 billion. Adding up to a total of 973.5 billion. So the 6 counties, they are the beneficiaries of this. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Kimotho?
Population is one of the way ambayo inatumika kufanya allocation, because pia kuna other ways, pia by distance, kilometers, geographical areas, pia hashment condition ambazo ziko to that county. But population, it has to be looked upon, because they are it's very unfair. You have been given the same amount of allocation of money, and yet he that is the allocation inaangalia per head. So unakuta, for example, mnapatia 1 billion na pengine the county ambayo mnapatia nayo iko na watu 800,000 na pengine hii county nyingine iko na watu kama 2 million. So unaona pale kwa wakati kama ni mambo na funding kama ni ya bursary, inamaanisha kuna one of the area ambayo itafinyika kiasi. Na surprisingly is that the area ambayo iko na more population ndio iko na more likely ina generate a lot of that is a revenue.
Yeah, I agree.
So ukiangalia pale, population is one of the determinant factor. Ndio the areas ambayo wako na high population waweza kupatia more funding because wanahitaji, na pia at the same time kuna other areas ambazo population iko chini but pia wanakuwa phase na other condition ambazo ziko to that to those areas.
Yeah, because I can see a professor wa Nairobi anaitwa Samuel Nyandemo alisema, whereas devolution is working, we need to revisit the formula used for distribution of revenues to counties. We need to put more resources where there is still under development. That is what he said. And also kuna mtu mwingine hapa alisema that still the same person alisema inequality can be addressed if we stop focusing on population as the main metric in determining the amount of money a county receives. Then in addition to that, poverty and development levels of a county should be key.
Yeah,
that is what amesema. Yeah,
but unajua at the same time lazima kuwe kuna ile equity of share of revenue, because hata kama wanasema population isiangaliwe, it is also supposed to be one of the factor ambayo inaangalia pale. Because today even if we try now to look on other factors, the population of that area determines so much. Yes, kwa sababu unajua kuna ile vote head ambayo itakuwa inaangaliwa pale na the area, because unajua at the same time if you don't give equitable share now to that area, inamaanisha hata revenue, unajua watu watakuwa discouraged hata wakati wa generation of revenue. So pia watu wanahitaji better services ambazo ziko pale. So it's also something ambayo lazima tu itaangaziwa, but at the same time pia wafanye focus na pia na other areas ambayo ziko disadvantage na climate change na masuala yale mengine ambayo yanayakumba. Yes.
Now these 6 counties, as nimesema Mr. Kimotho, have they been utilizing MPESA maximally, that there is development in each and every county?
According to the report of the Auditor General, I think kuna county ambayo inatumia to the maximum use of their funds. Kuna ile wale ambao wanajaribu sana, because unajua kuna yale masuala ambayo yanachipuka pale, na at the same time kuna the time disbursement of this money. So kiangalia kama recently wanakuwa disbursed money na wanapatiwa like 2 months waweze kuutilize before zirudi kwa treasury. So it's very unfair.
And actually it sounds impossible,
It's very unfair, because how do you use billions in 2 months?
2 months.
Yeah, it's very unfair, because sasa inabidi contractor wanaharakisha, wanafanya kazi, unakuta billions zinaanguka, unakuta zingine zinafanya nini, barabara inatengenezwa haraka, baadaye ikimaliza miezi kadhaa kazi haifanyiki vizuri. So also now the part of the treasury, they're supposed now to release the money earlier, so that hata kama hii easy development zinafanyika mapema, because it's very unfair. Now pia mna checklist kama umefanya kazi mwajafanya, na pia location the zinafaa zinafika wakati ambao umechelewa. Yes.
Okay. And from this, what do you think?
We can go now to the education sector. Na kulikuwa na selection ambayo ilikuwa inaendelea ya the grade 9 student ambao sasa wanafaa waingie to the senior school, and surprisingly is that kumbe kuna some of the schools ambazo hazikuselectiwa na mwanafunzi yeyote. So kulingana na report ambayo the ministry ambao wametoa, they are saying that a red flag after grade 9 student keep off half the senior schools. So the students have only shown interest in joining 4,250 schools nationwide in the selection exercise that ended on July 15. Most of the 5,000 rejected schools are day schools. So shockingly, details have emerged ya kwamba most of the they were not selected even by a single student for admission in upcoming January transition. So kuna shule ambayo haikupata hata mwanafunzi hata mmoja, although hawajalist hizo shule ni gani, but inakuwa ni challenge, because now there are fears that the students being placed in institutions they do not show any interest in during the selection. So that is also one of the thing ambayo iko pale, na pia kuna wale wa student ambao pia walionyesha interest in some of the selected school. So the ministry now iko in a situation ambayo kuweza kudetermine na kuweza kuangalia haya, kwa sababu kulikuwa na the career path ambayo mtoto alikuwa anachagua pale, na hiyo career path alikuwa ambaye amechagua ndio alikuwa anapatia the list of schools ambazo anafaa, that is a select, na zilikuwa na different categories kwa sababu zilikuwa clustered. Ulikuwa unakuta kama ni cluster cluster 1, 2 and 3. Unakuta in cluster 1, 2 and 3 unachagua 3 schools kulingana na career path ya mtoto. Then kuna cluster 4 ambayo ilikuwa ni za day school. Mtoto anachagua 4 day schools. So hiyo ndio exercise ambayo imekuwa ikiendelea pale. And also now the PS wa education sasa anasema hiyo sasa ni kazi ambao wanafaa waangalie na waweze kushughulikia vizuri, ndio wale ambao wameselect haya mashule kila mtoto aweze kwenda kwa ile shule ambayo imeselect. And unajua kulingana na hiyo selection ya hizo like 12 schools, mtoto atakuwa placed just in one school. So it's something that ambayo it is one of the exercises ambayo it is new to us, new to our system, new to our government, new even to the learners and also to the parents. But here ndio kitu naona imeangaziwa hapa, and it is one of the exercises that is being now looked upon. But we also wondering now what will happen now to the kwa zile shule ambazo zijakuwa selected. Something needs now to be addressed as to why they were not selected, because unajua nao pale ilikuwa inaonyesha that is each and every school na career path ambayo mtoto ameweza kuselect. So they should also equip, because kama ni day school inamaanisha some of those day schools ndio ziko karibu pale sana na wanafunzi wengi. Yes.
Okay. And let's dive into politics. That is page 6, and this is what they think. Ruto Raila pact face its test as ODM gears up for a meeting. Finally, Mr. Kimotho, we have reacted to the broad-based government. And they're saying a fierce power struggle is brewing in Raila's Odinga's ODM as the party gears up for its October National Delegates Convention, a meeting that could redefine leadership stands on a controversial deal with the President Ruto, a strategy for the 2027 general election. That is what they're saying, Mr. Kimotho. That's what they're saying, and let's see what Baba will say during this meeting if he's in for 2027 elections. Everyone is waiting out there.
Everyone is waiting and everyone is also watching. And I saw some comments from some of the youth. They were trying to distance themselves from that dialogue. So we hope to see if it's the dialogue ya ku embrace their broad-based government on issues now to do with ODM, because hata wakati kwele mkataba kulikuwa na mkataba ambao ulikuwa between ODM and the government, and there were agendas ambao zilikuwa pale. So you can see now the agenda iliena just one party, and yet the agendas were supposed to be presented to them as the opposition coalition, as it was then. So that's unaona kuna wengine wali depart. So we are yet to see now what will, roll out of it.
Yeah, and tuliona that is Mr. Odinga eldest brother Oginga akisema they'll support the government even if they're staggering till 2027.
But they're still in government.
They're already in government.
Yeah, they're already in government because the senior brother, he's a senator. So yeah, bado ako in government. Yes, so lazima, so kulingana na yeye, he still now, hata your statement bado tu ako ni statement bado ya kama kazi yake, because not just support the government, ni kazi gani nyingine angekuwa akifanya. So yeye hata akisema ata support the government, it's fine. They are there, wamewekeana mkataba pale, but they are supposed now to remember that this dialogue has come up now in a time where demonstrations erupt each and every time. Inafaa pia waangalie zile solution ambazo zinafaa zipatikane.
Okay. Yeah. And still there is a sentiment here from Mr. Sifuna. This is what alisema. Sifuna, who has firmly opposed a working arrangement with the President Ruto's UDA, dismissed claims that ODM is part of a broad-based government. So anakatana, their lead is already there. All right. Is part of a broad-based government and accused some party officials of betraying the party's position. And akasema there is no government called broad-based government. We have Kenya Kwanza government, and all those who serve in it work for Ruto. Our MOU with UDA is merely a cooperation framework on shared interests, not a power-sharing deal or a coalition agreement. That is what he said on behalf of ODM,
Yeah, he's the Secretary General of ODM.
Yeah.
That is Aidin Sifuna. He's also now the Senator for Nairobi. So yeah, akitoa comment anatoa comment as the party itself. Just like what he has initiated. The agreement was between ODM and the government. So there is the dialogue going to be between ODM and government, or if the dialogue now is going to be now the Kenyans and the government. So now so here on the issue ambayo inaangazio pale na inaangaliwa, that unaona si watu wengi sana wanaweza wamekuwa ki-embrace now the dialogue issue ambayo imekuwa pale. Then at the same time, this is not the first time tumeona mambo ya dialogue ikiangaziwa, and especially ikikuwa frontiered by the former Prime Minister. He has always been there in so many governments doing dialogues. Yes.
But still needs to play his role as the opposition. He has not been effective since he joined the broad-based government.
That's why now, according now to their statement, it is now between ODM and government. So it is high time now we see now those dialogues come na itakuwa between Kenya and government itself. Yes. Because
unaona statement inaonyesha that everyone who is under the broad-based government, they work for the government, not for the ODM party.
But the agreement was between ODM and the government.
Were the leaders there,
Yeah, they were there. The ODM leaders were there.
Because?
And they were the only leaders who were there. The other opposition leaders were not there. Yes.
Because tuliona that is January hapo mwanzo tuliona even akina Madhakaru akisema they wish them all the best,
Yeah. that's why now they were distancing themselves because it was one party agenda now to the government. It was now the agenda of now the other people ambao walikuwa pamoja now in opposition. That's why unaona wamejidistance na wamewachia wale wengine waendelee na haya mazungumzo. Yes.
And you know, walikuwa wanasema actually the agenda of that is the broad-based government, it's bring peace in our country.
It is one of the agenda, but we are going to see who is going to be involved to implement that piece.
Can you say that is why the president, when he visits some of the counties, anasema niko na baraka za baba? You remember that statement?
Yeah, lazima atoe hiyo statement ya kujipatia nguvu, because now he's now trying to take dominance of the territory of the former prime minister. Yes. Anaenda
kwa ngome za baba.
Pia ni political moves.
Okay. We yet to see what will happen. Let's wait for this meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. And away from that, what do you have?
Communication Authority of Kenya, that is the CA on spot again for the switching off live broadcast. So MP waliweza ku question the authority kwa sababu ni MP question the authority on who gives it power to switch media off and how it decides on the move. So the lawmakers noted action that could have further speculation, tension and anarchy in the country. So yesterday tuliona that is the director wa CA akiwa pale na akikuwa question na the MPs, and pia that is a Public Investment Committee on Social Service Administration, and that is a vice chairperson, that is a kulikuwa na that is a MP ambaye anaitwa Caleb Hamis ambaye lead haya maswali kwa kuweza kuuliza that is now this commission. So it was tasked now to answer the questions on who gives them the power to switch the media off and at which point. And the MP ambaye anaitwa Hamisi said that switching off could cause further speculations, tension and anarchy in the country, adding that such scenarios can cause problems in election situation. Now we are approaching a very volatile election. Kenyans are wondering, are we going to have a live stream of election results? Then all of a sudden there's a switch off. That is terrible. It can turn this country into a total mess, anarchy. We do not have any other country to go or to do. I only know one, Kenya. So that is now according now to the MP. So the committee demanded for an explanation for what happened on June 25th protest. They saw a live stream of events switched off of a Kenyan demonstration, also guaranteed by the constitution to commence their that is one of the media station ambayo iliweza that is kufungia now their live stream ambayo and also at the same time kuna hii the letter ambayo pia ilikuwa ambayo ilienda to other media station and what and how they're supposed now to do their streaming. So that is kuna hii commission ambayo ilikuwa question jana, na pia kuna court case ambayo bado inaendelea kule kotini. So walisema hawataongea mambo mengi, but they were they were pushed to respond as to why now they were supposed to do to be kwa nini walifanya haya mambo yote. And also pia part of the questions ambao waliweza kuulizwa pale, waliweza kuulizwa kama wako na mandate that is ya license na kuregulate, and yes pia wakajibu hiyo mandate wako nayo, but hawakuweza kuongelea mambo mengi kwa sababu that is kuna hiyo kesi ambayo inaendelea pale, na wakasema that is watakuja kujadili baadaye. But you can see it raises concerns as to who ni nani ako na hiyo mandate ya ku decide what needs to be done, especially now to the live stream ambazo ziko pale. Na the concerns ya MP concern yake ni kwamba mambo kama haya yakifanyika wakati na tunaelekea during the election, now what will happen? So hiyo ndio maswali ambao walikuwa najibu pale. Yes.
Okay, I hope they'll check it out so that ikifika time elections, what switch off the media stations,
And also it needs to be clarified very well who is nani yako na hiyo mandate ya kufanya hivyo, because unajua nao kuna pia kuna bunge ambayo inafaa itoe hiyo mandate, na pia the same time pia kuna the gazette notice that is supposed to be aired out there on how and guidance, si kuamka tu asubuhi na just could decide, because there is guidance of the constitution, there is guidance of the act of the law, also there is also guidance now to the act now the communication authority, na pia kuna guidance ambayo inafaa ipeana now to the other stream medias ambazo ziko pale, so that nobody should misuse any kind of law ambayo inafaa pale. Yes.
And even the media, they are playing their responsibilities by making sure that Kenyans know what is happening out there.
Yes. Yeah. Because unajua the media iko na a lot of impact ambayo inapatia mwananchi direct pale. Because kama kuna, that is according now to the history 1982 coup, that is TV that is the radio ilitumika sana. Kuna walienda kwa radio wakasema Kenya what, then kwa na tension, then after some few hours the government Kenya tena declare kwamba now Kenya iko in the right hands. So ukiangalia now the media it is one way ambayo inafikisha the information direct now to the people, na ni kitu ambayo watu wanategemea zaidi. So wakati now kuna misuse ya such events, now kitu kiangalia sana wakati wa election, watu wanakuwa pale kwa television, watu wanakuwa kwa radio pale, ukiweza kufanya mahesabu yao ili kuangalia wale candidate ambao walipigia kura ama wale candidate ambao wangetaka washinde, progress yao inaendelea namna gani. So this is one of the things ambayo inaangalia, and we are really hoping that an interpretation is also going to be guided and to be done wakati pia hiyo kesi itakuwa determined kule kotini.
Yeah. And on other stories, there's a statement here: arrest mountain protest plotters, says a Ruto allied Mount Kenya MP. They're saying that a section of Mount Kenya MPs allied to Kenya Kwanza administration have demanded a thorough investigation into the recent chaos that led to destruction of properties and loss of lives in the region. That story is in page 7. Let's check it out. Okay. And they're saying lawmakers called for investigation and blamed an arrest on the unnamed individuals, declaring they won't allow a repeat of what happened during that is the Sabasaba protest. You know, that is what they're saying. And still kuna statement hapa ya Dagoretti South MP and John Teresa. Businesses lie in ruins and people are nursing deep wounds, both visible and invisible. This is not the Kenya that we want. And the question is this, Mr. Kimotho, to those businesses zenye ziliharibiwa, are they going to be compensated?
That's why now the insurance inaingilia hapo.
Watu wachukue insurance.
Kama hujachukua insurance, there are zero possibilities of the government to
compensate you. Yeah.
So you should take precautions by yourself, because especially now to the nature of the business mali iko for the surroundings, because if you wait for the government needs now to arrest those people who did that. They need now to take these people to the court. The courts need now to determine the nature of investigation, the evidence that itakuwa presented pale. So na itakuwa ni changamoto. Yes. And
but we are saying moreover, the sponsors and those who orchestrated the anarchy and violence must be unmasked and held accountable.
Yeah, that's why now unajua sasa hata wakikuwa arrested wataenda pale wapewe bail, for example 50,000 100,000 is just an example, ama hata judgment ikifanyika according to the case of tumekuwa tukiona hapa, judgment maybe inaweza kawia 6 months 1 year. So will the business still be utakuwa umefunga biashara
ukiongojea case ulipe 50,000
na pengine hiyo compensation ikifanyika, wale ambao wamehusika utapata pengine watatozwa pesa fulani. So for instance wakishindwa kutoa hizo pesa, na hizo pesa ambazo watatozwa hazitafikia ile loss ambayo ulifanya ambayo ulipitia pale. So it is also advisable at the same time also to take insurance, some of the insurance companies, because especially now pale Nairobi ama in the cities areas, in any other city ambayo tuko nayo in our nation, kama unajua mahali biashara yako itakuwa kwa situation kama hii, just try your best. Ama kama kuna wengine tuliona hiyo siku walichukua step ya kuhamisha kila kitu. But unajua kuna kama supermarket huwezi hamisha. So pia kuna ile precaution orders ambayo inafaa ikuwe pale, because they are things as we wait now for things now to be laid out correctly. So kuna vitu zingine itabidi pia mtu achukue precautions, and that's why tunasema Kwa ile kwa ile that is a motion ambayo inapeana guidelines za demonstration, pia kama with areas ambazo pia zita avoid such losses. Yes, because it's very painful. It
is, especially for the businesses people, you know. And you know, at the state of our economy, say the way it is, it's not good at all.
It's not good because you can imagine, you know, biashara yako imeenda a loss of 50 million, 100 million, 200 million. It's very painful. It's very painful. Umeamka umefanya investment yako, then unakuta kama tuliona walivunja duka fulani, wakaiba simu, wengine wakaiba laptop, wengine wakafanya nini. It's very painful. Yes. And
I can see, but the MP Asema, as you speak, families are mourning the loss of their loved ones, businesses lie in ruins, and people are nursing deep wounds, both visible and invisible. This is not the Kenya we want. Asema, no cause, no political ambitions, no grievance, however legitimate, should come at any cost. And Anasema, we will stand with Mwananchi whose life has been rudely disrupted and their dignity trampled on in the crossfire of political responsibility. So they are willing to stand with the Mwananchi.
That they should stop the political, you know.
Political what? Political, because amesema hapa hakuna political interest with Kimotho. It's all
political hypocrisy, because
why
those people ambao wanaongea hayo nikiangalia hapa they are people in government. So the whole they're supposed to be giving us is the solution. For example, wanafaa tuambie you know, the investigations that were done, it was proved that so and so and so hired those goons. We demand, you know, we put pressure on the IG to do more investigation and to those robbers ambao walianza waka-interfere their businesses. But trying to come and say we shall demand, who are you demanding to? And yet you're the people who are in government and are what in the MPs.
You know, probably, let's say they are started by taking the first step, comforting the Mwananchi. You know, that's what they're doing. Because they're saying Kenyans are mourning both that is visible and invisible wounds. You know,
we need to see them grilling the IG. We need to see them grilling so much to the CS. We need, you know, to see them doing diligence. In fact, they're supposed even, kwa sababu kuna committee ambayo inafaa ikuwe pale, have they visited these business people? Wamwa visit. What are they trying now to, ni nini yao wamefanya instead of speaking? Because he is speaking too much, inafaa iachie wale watu ambao hawiko in government, the Mwananchi themselves. But any other elected leader are already in power, so they're supposed to do something. They're supposed to show us that they are doing something else even in parliament, trying now to summon those who are in charge, trying to see now what will happen, trying now to come up with the ways and regulations in order now to avoid such cases. Because if they don't do that, inamaanisha demonstrations ikikuja ni guidelines gani ambayo itatumika pale.
Because here they're saying they vow to do everything possible to ensure such violence never happens again. They say they remain confident in the direction the government is taking in terms of development and social well-being of the region.
So we hope they will walk the talk.
Well, yeah, we hope so. And also they take action. Si kusema tu, just the way you have said. Apart from comforting the Mwananchi, what else are they doing?
Yes.
Yeah. And that is what the MPs of Mount Kenya walisema. Yeah. So,
naangalia hapa kwa cartoon, then nikiangalia hapa kwa cartoon naona kuna picha mbili. One of them is the NCIC. The NCIC naona wamepewa mfano of you know, a domestic animal. Then wamekuwa silence hapa, and you know, naona one part imeandikwa ni government. Ni kama wanakuwa silence kwa sababu hata hawaongei. Then kuna the other part ambayo ni opposition. Upande huo wa opposition tunaona ni kama sasa, you know, wanaboeka sana, maybe now raising now their voice now to the part of the opposition. It's a very interesting that is a cartoon, especially kama saizi tumekuwa tukiangalia mambo na incitement, na kuna hii commission ambayo inafaidi na haya maneno yote. So it's very interesting kulingana na yule ambayo that is aliweza kuchora hiyo cartoon. And pia from the readers corner naona pia kuna maswali ambayo huwa naona watu wengi wameangazia. Youth want the government to reward merit. So kulingana na, you know, yale maswali ambayo yalifanyika ya Gen Z, so they need also something now to be done. Also at the same time kuna new IBC bosses have had a task rebuilding the trust. So kuna ile trust ambayo now the IBC wanafaa make sure that is umeirudisha, that is to the monarchy itself and also now to the commission themselves. Na pia kuna another person ambaye pia hapa kuna mtazamo wake, solve the riddle of ghost public schools and learners. So kuna yale mambo ambayo yalikuwa, that is ile mtazamo ambayo ilikuwa imetolewa, that is na the office of the auditor general. So those are some of the comments na zimetolewa kwa the readers corner.
Okay. Yeah. As we wind up, what do you have to tell the viewers?
Just want to thank them kwa vile wamekuwa pamoja na sisi, and also still to remind them that they need now to take action and be responsible to our nation. Wanakuwa na siku njema. Okay,
and there's something here, Mr. Kimotho, I think that we should celebrate someone that we should celebrate. Okay. That is someone's birthday, a spiritual authority, Dr. Bishop Margaret Wangari. It's her birthday. Wow. Let's wish her a happy birthday.
It's an honor.
Yeah, it's an honor, right?
Wish her a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yes.
A very happy birthday to her, more grace to her, and tumombe nini ingine, miaka mingi ya baraka and more grace, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and bado karibisha watu for the prayer rally that will be happening, that is August 2nd.
Yeah, we want to welcome each and every person. It is a interdenomination prayer ambayo itakuwa 2nd of August. Na so tunakaribisha kila moja. Let us come and let us stand together in prayers and in also in solidarity of what we know so much. Yeah. Just and that is prayer.
Yeah. And as Mr. Kimotho have said, this rally has been will be hosted by, that is Bahati and Subukia Sub-County Pastors Fellowship, and the theme inatoka, that is from 2nd Chronicles 7:14. It will be happening at Mizpah Prayer Center, Bahati, Nakuru. That is this coming month, 2nd of August. It will be on a Saturday and is free and open to all. Mekaribishwa sana. And still, in addition to that, don't forget that will be happening, that will be having, that is Mizpah School of Intercessory Prayer and Deliverance. That will be happening on August 2025. That is from 11th to the 22nd. If you kauko umejipanga, sasa anza kujipanga. And for more information, please talk to us on 0727766553. Don't forget, this segment has been sponsored by Stark Institute and Driving School. The courses that they offer, that is hospitality courses, driving courses, cosmetology and driving courses. They have branches in Nakuru County, but the main campus is in Njoro Town on the Egerton Njoro Road. If you're interested, please visit their website, that is on www.starkinstitute.ac.ke, and still you can use their email, that is info@starkinstitute.ac.ke. My name is Angela Kabete. Till next time, bye bye.